Hi everyone, welcome back. Today, let's try to solve another problem which has been asked in Credence data analytics interviews. Here, in this problem, we have an activity table with columns player ID, device ID, event date, and games played. The combination of columns player ID and event date are the primary keys of this table, and each row is a record of players in this table who logged in and played a particular number of games before logging out on some day using some device. Now we want to write down a solution to get the fraction of players that logged in again on the day after the day they first logged in. That means we need to find out the count of players who logged in two continuous days and divide it with the total distinct players. And at the last we need to round up the final output up to two decimal places. I hope the question is quite clear to you. Now head back to the SQL editor. So before writing down the SQL query, think about the logic first. What do we want to get here? So we want the date difference between the logging date of a player with his last logging date. And if that difference is 1, that means he logged in two continuous days. Else we can ignore it. Now let's write down the solution. I hope you will be having the basic syntax idea of common table expressions because we'll be using that. Also, since we need to compare the rows of table among themselves, it becomes the use case of self join. But this time we'll try another method which is the use case of lag window function. So lag window function, what it does, it takes the previous value of a row for a column in a window. Let's get the more understanding of lag functions through the code itself. So first we'll write with call the CT table as previous date as select player ID. We need the player ID and event date. From table activity. Now to get the last event date, we need to write the lag function, and in that function we need the last row value of event date column only. So inside the lag we'll use the event date, and since this is a window function we have to provide the window, and in that window we'll be partitioning the table on player ID and ordering it by event date. And we'll call this particular calculation as previous date. Okay. To check how our data will look, we'll simply do select star from. Now instead of table activity we can simply use this previous date table and run this code. Okay, let's analyze this particular output. So what we expected the previous event date for a particular row. So for row 1, player ID 1, we don't have any previous date. That's why we are having null in the previous date column. But in the second row of player ID 1, we have the previous date as the 1st of March. That's why we are getting the previous date of it. And we'll come back to the player ID 2. This again becomes the second window. And in this window for player ID 2, we don't have any previous event date. That so it will just show null in place of the previous date value. Same goes with the player ID 3. I hope this is quite clear to you. Now we got all the values aligned with each other. Now we can simply write down the fraction calculation. Another condition is that we need to check the difference of event date and the previous date column, and if that difference is equals to 1, we are good to go. So we'll write down case when absolute of event date minus previous date is equals to 1, then we'll take 1 else 0 because we need the count, and we'll do the AND and take the sum of it. And now we need to divide this count with the count of distinct player ID. This would become our final fraction, and we can call it as fraction. I think yeah, we can call it as fraction. Let's run this particular code. It's still saying wrong answer. Okay, we need to round the final output up to 2 decimal places. So in the same code, we'll simply use the round function and comma 2, and we are good to go. Okay, so our test case has been approved. I hope you have understand the common table expressions that we have used, and if not, I'll make a separate video of that. And also, if you have not understand the window function lag properly, give it a try based on the self join from your end, and if not, like, I'll make another separate video for using self join as well. And I hope you like the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe it for more.